Do you think you need?
No, it will record sound. You can see.
Hi.
Hi.
So we decided to kind of record our experience of learning how to walk in slackline, and this is just to kind of capture the reflections in the moment, today being the last day. And so the question is, how was your experience of walking on the slackline?
Would you like to answer it first?
Sure. So I had seen a friend slackline 2.5 years ago, and then I bought the slackline, and I used it for various programs that I would like to use it for. But then I started learning how to walk on the slackline, and my knees were in pretty bad shape because of previous incidents and accidents. So I had the memory of that moment, that it was so challenging for me to walk on the slackline, and I was pretty heavy as well. So this time, when I've had more time and consistency, and Natalia to just kind of support and be there as a reminder, Slack today, I think was the sweetest part of the whole experience, more than walking on it. So one of the things I realize about myself is that I need a companion or a person or a buddy to learn a new skill. So this experience was quite fruitful and sweet. Yeah. How was your experience?
I really enjoyed it. I tried slackline like 5 years ago once, and it was challenging, and at the same time it was easier. I was much fitter then. I was jogging and dancing a lot. So now, after 9 months of sitting at home with the pandemic, it was good reminder that I have a body and I have muscles, and there are different muscles, and they enjoy exercising. So I really enjoy the sense of movement and the challenge it brings with the balance. And it looks like a simple task, but actually the whole body is involved, and I really like the amount of exercise or stretching myself that was there during these 3 weeks. What was the challenging part for you, Anish?
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, I think for me the most challenging part was not to give up after the fall after fall, to get back on slack, and even if my ankles are starting even if my knees are starting to make sound, maybe not today, maybe next day, to come back. And in this sense, the most challenging part is when you walk the whole line for the first time. You know that you can do it, and you start falling again, and that's the challenging part. And it's a sweet reminder that however much we master it today, tomorrow, if we don't practice enough, it might just fall back. What was the most challenging part for you?
I think a lot of what you said, and for me, something that was most challenging was the heat. Some days were very hot, so it was pretty challenging to be in the outdoors. Yeah, and so that was an environmental challenge. The second was to quieten my mind, because there were so many thoughts that were coming into my head. So we definitely watched videos for beginners, and how to walk, how to balance, how to focus, and how to step. So the challenge for me was that all the video that I have seen had so many tips in it, and it was very difficult to think of it on the moment when you were standing on the slack. So the mind was buzzing with all the tips and all the thoughts. Oh, this guy said this, and this person said that, and this girl said this. So it was just a cacophony of sounds in the head on the slack. And just to learn and just to understand that when the mind is so full, I cannot center, I cannot focus. So to come to that, now in theory I know that anything that you do, you need to have a calm mind, take few deep breaths. And so in the videos you'll see me taking breaths, just reminding myself, okay, take a deep breath, calm down, relax. So I think that was the most challenging part, to put that knowledge of calming down, centering, focusing before you start into practice. And I think it was so challenging because, and as Natalia said, the first time you finish walking on the slack, there is this inherent feeling that yes, I can do it, I know it now. And the next time when you try, I fall again, and I'm like, oh, so that was frustrating. So then again, going back to basics, okay, take a deep breath, one step at a time, and just focus on it, not to get distracted. I think this was the challenging part of putting it into practice, what I knew. So yeah, it's easier said than done.
What did you learn from this experience?
Practice. I think that's one thing, like any other skill, which I want to put it, because this particular activity or exercise, there's no shortcut to it. Like even if you know the technique, if the mind is not present and it's not focused, it's so challenging. So I think this particular exercise of slack time has been phenomenal for me to just understand that practice the technique, practice the centering, practice the focusing, practice how to quieten down and get up again, get onto the rope, and the last walk was the last walk, the next walk is going to be a different one. So yeah, so two things, practice, and the second thing would be, my last walk is only an added experience. It does not mean that I'll be able to do the next one. So come back to the basics and start all over again.
Yeah. For some reason I think you don't speak about slack anymore. You speak about life. Yeah, I think for me it's the same, learning that practice makes it better. And the first day I didn't believe that I would be able to stand for more than half a second, and then the second day I think I made my first step and it was the biggest celebration. And now sometimes I can walk the whole rope and sometimes I can't, and that this skill really develops if you put time and attention to it every day, little by little, but very persistently. Yeah, that's my main learning.
I think I want to add a bonus learning, which I think is pretty... So the first time that I tried walking slack, which was about 2 years ago, was through a friend. And this friend was telling me, yeah, okay, you do it, get up, do this, do that, do this, do that. So there was a little bit of coaching and guiding. And yet I did not really fully understand the technique or the science or the real skills that will be required to do it. So another thing that I really want to stress upon is the videos that I watched. Yeah, those tips and those informations were so crucial, so important. Just to know how to keep the hands. And my posture is still not right, but I'm still, again, as I said, improving. To how to keep the hands and where to look. I think these small things make so much of a difference. So I think gaining that experience of others and learning from others' experience and their tips, I think there's so much beauty in that. So a lot of gratitude to all those who make videos to help others, to guide others. I think, yeah, no matter what video you make, but all those tutorials out there, hats off to you guys. There are people like me who are watching some videos and learning and adding things to our life. Yeah. So it's a wrap, and it's a last day in Goa. So there's a bit of sadness that where will we have this open space? The background that you can see,
It's just phenomenal.
the setup is quite magnificent. So a lot of gratitude to the space, to the person who allowed us to do this. And, just have the space and time for us to do this. Yeah, that's my celebration. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.